Hello, Sebastian Lucido here, and welcome to 5 Minute Fresh Start. I'm in 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 17. It says, Then it happened that when Ahab, he's the king, saw Elijah, that Ahab said to him, Is that you, O troubler of Israel? And he answered, I am not troubled, Israel, but you have and your fathers have, in that you have forsaken the commandments of the Lord and followed Baal. So, initially, we're going to go on here, but initially, so the king looks at Elijah as a troubler because when he brings up truth, it's against the way they're thinking, living, and acting. And Elijah said, I'm not here to trouble you. I'm just telling you what God told me. And you've forsaken the commandments of the Lord and you're following Baal. He goes on in verse 19, Now therefore, send and gather all of Israel to me at Mount Carmel, the 450 prophets of Baal. Baal is a false religion and a false god. And 400 prophets of Asherah who eat at Jezebel's table. So now we learn something new. We learned that there's 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Asherah who the king's wife, the queen, is entertaining and fellowshipping with in the palace. So the integration of false religion, of complete false doctrine, is within the kingdom of the king of Israel who's in covenant with God. And so the prophets come in and said, this is wrong, absolutely wrong. So verse 20 says, So Ahab sent and all the children of Israel gathered and the prophets together at Mount Carmel. Then Elijah came to all the people and said, How long will you falter between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal, follow him. But the people answered him not. So he presents it to the people and says, Listen, before these prophets, either if God's God, then follow him. And if God's not God, you're going to follow Baal. In other words, you make a decision. You can't be in the middle. You can't see God's God and we're going to still worship Baal, right? So it goes on in verse 22. Then Elijah said to the people, I alone am left a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Therefore, let these false prophets give us 2 bulls. Let them choose one for themselves, cut it in pieces, lay it on wood, but the other, but put no fire under it. And I will prepare the other bull, lay it on wood, but put no fire under it. Then you call on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord and the God who answers by fire. He is God. So all the people answered and said it was well spoken. So essentially he's saying, listen, let's put our gods to the test. You're 450 prophets of Baal, 400 prophets of Asherah. Let's make a sacrifice. Let's put a bunch of wood together on an altar. You cut up a bull and put it on the altar. I'll cut up a bull and put it on my altar. So there's 2. And you call on your God to bring fire down, to ignite it, as a burnt offering. And I'll call on my God to bring fire down and ignite it. And so what he's doing, what Elijah's doing, and it's sort of what we need to do today, is that he's trusting God to do the supernatural. Now, the Bible tells us, go into the world and preach the gospel to all creatures. Those that believe will be saved and those that don't will be damned, right? But it goes on to say that the Lord would work with us, giving us signs, the power. We can go to man and try to negotiate and try to, cause them to change their minds. But there's nothing like our words being backed up by the power of God. And I think that's what's required in today's society. We rely too much on apologetics and arguing the scriptures and going over it. We need to just lay it out and let God be God and reveal himself as he did in the days of Elijah. Well, fire came down and destroyed all of Elijah's offering. There was nothing left, not even the water. He poured 3 times, he poured water on it. And then the fire came down, burned it all up. There was nothing left, nothing left. And nothing happened naturally with the false gods. And so from there, actually, Elijah kills with the sword. The people bring them down, and he kills 450 priests with the sword, prophets of Baal. And he eradicated false religion and prove God to the king, the evil queen. Jezebel was evil, and to the nation. So that's our broadcast for today. Thank you for watching. Please visit our website, watchersoftruth.com. Plenty of study materials, workbooks, DVDs. You can download it. You can order physical material. It's all free. It's paid for by our partners. Please pray about becoming a partner, and thank you for allowing us to join you on your journey to know God and His Word. God bless you all.